Hello and welcome to another Geometry Dash building video. Today I'm going to be continuing on with my easy level. I just want to say before we start, if you like this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe and leave a comment because that would really help me out. Getting back into this, I haven't done anything since the last time I worked on it. In the previous episode, we added this whole castle section and I do want to expand it, but before that, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I'm finally going to add a background. What I really want to do is have some sort of rolling mountains in the background with, I don't know, like a rising sun or something, because this part goes from this kind of orangey sunset to this lovely shade of blue by the time we get to here. So what I really want to do is have the sunrise kind of come through this section until we finally end up with a sun fully in the sky by here. My other idea is to have rolling mountains in the background of this one, and then in the background of this one, those rolling mountains will have castles, mountains, and that sort of thing. I think I'm gonna get straight into this and do a time lapse. I think that might be the best way to sort that out. Alright, I'm starting today's episode off with a time lapse. I found from my analytics from last episode that you guys seem to quite like time lapses, so I think I might do one in every episode from now on. Here I'm just making the background. I really wanted to... I had some reference images up of kind of like an early morning kind of sunrise with all these mountains that were, you know, shrouded in clouds, and they were all started off kind of black and then kind of faded into color. So the ones closest to me, you'll see I'll make a darker color, and the ones further away, I'll make a more lighter and bluer color. You'll see this effect, you know, in real life all the time. I think one of the best examples is up in Sydney. There's a place called the Blue Mountains, which the fog makes them look, well, blue. But here you can see I actually changed the shapes I was using, because I mentioned this in the previous episode as well, but the new objects added in 2.2, still feels weird to say 2.2, but yeah, the new objects added in 2.2 are on layered wrong for whatever reason. I don't know how RobTop managed that, but what was happening was I was adding in these cloud objects and they were just not working with the original squares I was working with. So I had to kind of switch to these hexagons, which, I don't know, they work just fine. I didn't really have a problem with them, and I just filled them in with the circle objects because, you know, I have to fill them in with another one of those 2.1 objects because they're on the wrong layer. But yeah, you'll see me just continue to layer these up and add these cloud layers. And the clouds are made of, you know, two different cloud textures. There was one that's more fluffy and one that's more cartoony, and I felt as though the fluffy one helps, you know, fluff it up, but the more cartoony one was great as a kind of backing to that, so you couldn't see much white through it. You'll also see me offset the clouds a little to the left side so that they can scroll in. You'll see later though I ended up flipping this so they go from right to left. And you can see me running through this and testing it just so the parallax looks good, which I think it turned out really well actually. Yeah, you can also see I had to move the clouds that kind of surrounded the area, like what I put in last episode, just so I had a little bit more visibility, but because there's so much white on the screen now that I've added in those clouds. Like, I think they look great, but oh my god, it just adds so much visual clutter. So you'll see in a moment when I get back to the live play that I do end up fixing this, thankfully, because I'm recording this after I've recorded the rest of the episode, of course. And here's me making the final layer. Also, let me know if you like the time lapses with or without me just kind of speaking over the top of it, because I know some people, they put in just the time lapse with just the music over it. I thought it'd be interesting to have my thoughts about what I'm making over the top of the time lapse. So leave a comment below on which one you prefer, with me speaking or without me speaking. I think that would help me a lot. Finally we get onto the actual colouring of the hills themselves, because again I want them to kind of go from that black to fade into the green of how they're going to look in the kind of second part, like the castle part of the level. That's the other thing, I didn't end up actually adding in the castles I wanted to yet. Maybe I'll do that in the next episode, but it took me so much time to do this already. I just wanted to get right in and continue with the live play after I finish this. Yeah, oh, here you can see me make the sun. So I don't know if you've ever stared at the sun, but it's like white in the center and then it has a yellow or orange kind of outer glow. And so I tried replicating that with using the new 2.2 objects. I think it came out alright. I also added in an orange gradient just behind the top layer of the mountains. That way it can kind of have this orange glow as it rises from behind the mountains and fade away as it gets higher in the sky. I also made the kind of spikes that come out of the sun rotate a little bit. Might look a little goofy, I might change a little later, but I think it's alright for now. You can also see me here extending out all the mountain objects, just so, because this continues into the second half as well, it all kind of scrolls past that once I added in all the move triggers, so I need to extend it out so there's a bit more space for it to go through. Yeah, that's about it. I think it came out quite nice. I'm really happy with it, and I hope you guys like it too. Alright, so after all that, I've come up with this lovely little background that, you know, kind of moves as you go along the level. I think this adds a lot to it. You got the sun kind of rising over the back of it. I'm not sure about the amount of clouds, but there is one major problem with it all, and it's the fact that these soars are not very easy to see. A lot of this is not very easy to see because it's white on white. So there are a couple ways to approach this. I could change the color of the clouds in the background, but I'm not sure I want to do that. What I might do is add some extra layers underneath these structures just to add a layer of depth to it. The other thing I want to do is, I'm not sure if you saw last episode, I added in this coin. It doesn't quite work as intended. You can jump right on the edge of it and grab it. I don't think it's a great spot for the coin. It was a good idea, but I don't think it's a good idea. What I'm going to do instead is, I think it'd be a better idea to put coin in here. What happens is you jump up, kind of flip-flop around, end up here, and that puts you on the right path towards this section, which I haven't started on yet, obviously. So if I place this here, I reckon you should be able to land here. Are these on top? Yes, these are. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is place these across here. That'll be our base for it. Now I'm not sure, I don't know why I did that. I'm not sure if I want to have a coin there or whether I want to have the key there. I think for now I'll put a coin because I'm not sure where else in the level I'm going to put a coin. The coin used to be in this section, they moved it, and I forget every single time I got to do it. But let's see. Coin, half space it there. I reckon that could work. Now that's going to be an issue. What I could do, I don't know. Yeah, that's a bit of a hard jump. You can see I jumped there and it didn't jump. That's stupid. Yeah, you definitely can't. Whoa, definitely can't make it from that angle. What I could do is make key for that or something. I think it'd be a little more interesting to have a jump up, actually. If I do that and then have something sticking out the side here, like that, and have it as like a jump up. I think that might be a good idea. Put like that there. I might reduce the amount of area you have to work with. Unhide that, and then I'll take all this and kind of warp it so it's that length. And I think that will help out a bit. Yeah, that works. That works. And then obviously this all needs to change because it's all messed up. Because yeah, you can see it from there. It's a little tricky to see. I might put it down a little bit further actually. Although that definitely doesn't get you high enough. If I do that, that should be better. There we go. I think that works. I'm not sure I like this jump now that I'm looking at it. Although, this is a little tricky because I don't want it to just be, you see it, you drop down, you've got it forever. I want it to be a little bit of a challenge because it's quite difficult to see when you've got the radial blur occurring. I think I'll leave it like that for now. Although I'm thinking It might be better to have a key earlier in the level so this comes up and then you can make that jump. If I do something like this, what I can do is have this kind of in the center, and then I can put one of those little keyholes on it. Yeah, if I have one of these keyholes and then place one of these keys somewhere in the level, that should work quite well, I reckon. There we go. Because then you can tell that there's supposed to be something there. And what I can do is key somewhere else in the level. And I feel like the key should be somewhere in this section. I like this area up here. Maybe if you figure out like a jump up and then shovel across here or something to do with that, that could work. Or maybe it has something to do with this, where you can drop down to here, grab the key, and then come down here. Yeah, I reckon that'd be a pretty decent idea. Just gonna roughly copy this. Whoop, wrong thing. If I move that there and then widen this up. Because you can see something's up there, but yeah, I reckon that's pretty good actually. And I can put the key up there, and then if I put it here, I'm not going to change the color for it now, but edit special, there we go. Toggle enable group 23. So I guess we'll have this set to 23, and then we'll set this to 24. And what I can do is over here, if 23 has been enabled, then it'll turn off 24. Does that make sense? So the idea is put this all the way over here, toggle group 23. So 23 is off. You come through here, you collect this, 23 is on. Because 23 is on, it toggles this, which turns 24 off, which enables the key and turns that off. That should work. Right, so I've grabbed the key. Yeah, now the coin's there. This is a little tricky, so I will put this in here. Maybe just in case, you know? But if I play through it now, not collecting the key, then look, it's off and it's locked. Perfect. So this all works exactly how I wanted to. I think that's a fair key. Not a fair key, a fair coin. I think that's a very fair coin. Although that bounces you extremely high. So what I might do instead of that is maybe just have a simple ramp up. I don't want it to be tricky getting back after you've, discovered and picked up the coin. Turn on hitboxes to make sure right way around. Yeah, it's the right way around. And then I'm just gonna bang, bang. Perfect. I'm not sure if I want this to kill you. I think I do want it to kill me. Put that 24 and I'll just hide it. So yeah, this kills you if you touch it and you haven't unlocked the key, which, yeah, because it's locked, that makes sense. That should be fine. Oh, I didn't think of that because the D block isn't over the top of it. And that should cover everything now, I hope. You know what I'm starting to think? I reckon I should move this down by 1 or up by 1, depending on how you view it. I actually did mean the other way. I'm just extremely stupid. Yeah, okay. If I put it there, then that should make it easier. You have a lot more time to react because that's what I want. Right? I want you to have a lot of time to be able to react. I do need to add some like jump indicators or something to make it obvious you need to go down to here. So you won't just lazily go bloom, bloom, okay, So I feel like that's a very odd spot for an orb that's kind of randomly timed, What I could do actually is reduce the length of it. I'll do that and then move all of this back. Right, then hopefully that should be a little more obvious that you're supposed to go off there. And so as a result, I'll move all this back. Yeah, you can just see the key up above, which is perfect. And that's plenty of room. I lied, that is definitely not plenty of room. I'm gonna extend this out one more, although this area kind of looks a little plain, but it'll probably look a lot more filled in when I figure out what I want to do with these, because I don't know, I feel like having the portals and everything kind of floating doesn't really suit the vibe, but I can always change it later if I have any ideas, or if you guys have any ideas. Don't forget to comment down your ideas. That'd be great, because no one leaves comments. Please leave comments. Now, getting back to what I was saying in the first place, I feel like these need to have some sort of outline, because if you look at them now, it's just like, they're very hard to see. Yeah, because it's the white on white, they need some kind of backing, they really do. What I could do is copy each one of these and maybe add like a black version of them behind them. I guess it's not really easy to see when you're playing it like that, so I'll go into here. Just can't see them at all. That's interesting. I guess what I can do instead is maybe a pulsing object would look alright. Alright, I'm just going to start placing these wherever there's a saw. Yeah, I think that does really help, actually. Maybe it's a little too low, like low opacity. Okay, I don't like them pulsing, actually. What I'm gonna do, I reckon, is create a circle object. And then maybe look at this. I use this object for the sun that comes up. But what I could do is that, expand it out, next free, this black maybe 50%, delete all these again. I should probably make them different scales for the different saws. Let's try that. That makes it fairly obvious, although I still feel the opacity is still a little too low. Is that obvious enough? I'm pretty sure that's obvious enough, right? You can really see which areas to kind of avoid if I do that. I'm not sure if I should make them colored though, maybe match them to, I don't know, the kind of sunrisey colors we've got now, like orange or something. Orange might look good. I think that is a little bit ridiculous. What I could do is, instead of, didn't want that, oh, get out of here. If I change this to black, but a kind of, you know, the dark bluer sort of black I've kind of been using. That's a little too much blue. If I go down here, yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, and then I'll do the same thing kind of behind the spikes as well. If I get one of these, get one of the smaller ones, make it so it kind of covers this, and the opacity kind of goes over it. So what I'm gonna do, ooh. All right, yep, so I'm gonna take this, space it so it's like that, and then one of these ones will probably cover all of that. There we go. Let's play that in normal mode. Yeah, you can really obviously see where all the dangers are now. Now, the other thing I want to do is maybe I'll add them behind these as well. If I do the same sort of thing with these kind of pulsing circles, scale them up to double the size because it starts off pretty quiet. Yeah, that just looks garbage. I can't do that. I'm gonna leave it like that, I reckon. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. There's another bit I wanted to do, which was this arch section here. What I'm thinking about doing is having one of these style arches that's like huge. I'll bring this all the way over here. Yeah, it kind of comes in like that. So maybe instead of doing this, I'll make it like half the width. I don't know, still kind of doesn't look quite right, but do a bit of that. And then make these arches like bloody massive. Yeah, that doesn't look quite good. What I can do instead is just make an arch out of these sort of blocks, which is what I did with the background. Yeah, if I do that, and then I can start kind of rotating it around. Yeah, you can see the vision for this. I think I'm gonna cut that. Actually, no, it does add something, but it needs something else. I don't know. That kind of looks okay. I'm not sure that's quite what I want. I'm going to do that. There. If I do something like that, that should look a little bit better. And I'll make this widen up to like here or something. And then I can just include something that looks like this. There. Does that look alright? I'm not happy. It kind of clips into this. It's the only thing. I feel like what I could do instead is move this all up like a half space, which does mean I'm gonna have to bring all this down a half space, which let's see if that kind of ruins it. That really doesn't ruin that flow at all. It actually works quite well. What I'm starting to think now is, instead of doing that, I do this sort of thing. I bring this all the way over here, then I have a big piece come out like this, do something like that, and add one of these pieces behind it. There we go, that looks a lot better. Although, I feel like I don't even need that. If I just have this line up... Ooh, that isn't lined up properly. Okay, hopefully now it should begin to look a bit better. Yeah, okay, that looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna add these little details in. I think that looks pretty okay. Although, I don't know, it doesn't entirely fit that well. But I think for now, that's pretty good. And then I can always make this a bit longer. And then all of a sudden, this part looks so much more filled in. I don't know about how I feel about how suddenly it kind of drops. Whoa, did not mean to do that. What I might do is, you can kind of see up here a little bit. So I think it might be very cool if I bring this down, change this up a little bit, and then have like little windows or something here. Yeah, like what I've got here is like perfect. If I bring this kind of over here, might shrink them down a little bit as well. Yeah, look at that. That'll go perfectly. Oh wow, that does fit perfectly. Look at that, that's beautiful. It's a little hard to see, which is unfortunate. I think I might actually do a bit of this. Flatten this out. This is too high. This needs to come back down. Redo what I did with this. No longer liking it. 2 seconds after I made it. Classic me mistake. Pull it down by 1. There we go, and that should be a lot better. I probably didn't even need to remove this, to be honest. What I might do with that instead is make it a little bit of a bowl. Yeah, if I do something like this. Yep, and then do a little bit of that. That's got an interesting shape to it. Ooh, not sure I like that though. Let's see how it looks from the key route. Looks a little funky. What I can do actually is just do this, and that'll act as a good kind of barrier. Or maybe not. Yeah, this is getting in the way, and I don't like that. Yeah, that works. It's a little tight, but it works. What I might do, just in case, is create double scale portal and then just like hide no effects. You'll never know it's there. I might do that with the other one over here as well. I spoke too soon. Doesn't work on these. Yeah, now it's just a backup, which is exactly what I want. Interesting, my first instinct was kind of jump there. Oh, man, excuse me. So yeah, I think I got the slope there. I think that really works. I'm really happy with how this is turning out, actually. There was one last thing I wanted to do before I finish off this episode, and that was make all of these kind of slowly come in. What you'll find is with a lot of good levels, there's a lot of movement to them. There's almost always something moving. And so what I'm gonna do with this is have all these kind of come up to where they should be. And I think help add a bit of energy and help add a bit of visual flair to it, you know? Now, I could be doing this with a area move trigger, but I found that area move trigger only works for single columns. It's not like it moves a whole set of objects, which really annoys me. And I wish there was like a mode or something like that where you could make it do that. Instead, I'm gonna have to manually trigger all of these. All right, this should add a lot of flavor to it. Yeah, I reckon that does add a lot to it. Yeah, I reckon that really works. That really adds a little bit of something to it. Alright, so for the final little section, I reckon I'll just fix all this up, because this looks very stupid and very strange at the moment. Still think it looks a little close, but what I might do is have like a piece or two kind of fall out. Maybe like this. I reckon this piece. So once you land on it, number 33 will fall pretty far, and 33 will rotate 90 degrees. Let's see how that looks. Wow, can't see it rotate at all. It needs, I know what it needs. I reckon if I bump this up by half a step, make this 34, and then when you land on it, I'll make 34 move down by 0.5. Yeah, I think that should look alright. It needs to be a lot faster, I reckon. Oh, voice crack! Ugh. Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense. Actually, I might make it 270 instead. We're really experimenting with this one little doodad. Yeah, I think that's enough rotation for what I'm looking for. I think that'll do it for today. I've been working on this for the past 2 days. I did most of the time-lapse yesterday, but man, this adds so much to the level, and I'm so glad I was able to finish it. I still want to add kind of castles in the background that pop up when you enter this area, and I definitely want to add some more details, mainly in this section up here, and then this section down there. I have no idea what I'm going to do for this. Actually, I've got some idea of what I want to do for this section. So I might leave that till the next episode, though. There's still a lot of details I've got to do, like cleaning up all these and that sort of thing. So I might do a time-lapse next time, and that should clean up a lot of things, hopefully. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to get done today. So I'm pretty happy. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And before I play a preview, I just want to let you know that the song is copyrighted, so I can't actually play the music when I do my level clear. So keep that in mind. I'll probably replace it with something else. But hope you have a nice day, and that's it from me.